everybody. I'm Maria and this is Ozzie. And if you're watching us, I'm sorry because that means you've got a furry friend that's having some troubles. And Ozzie is 2 weeks out of his second TPLO surgery. So I just thought I would share a few tips with you that I wish I would have known before we ever did that procedure. Ozzie's first procedure was very, very successful, which is probably why we decided to opt and go ahead and do the second one when he had that problem on his other back leg. So the first thing I really like for you to think about is, number one, plan ahead. So if your pet is as big as this one, or bigger, or a handful, you really need to think about your post-surgery trip back home. So he's going to be in a difficult state, still a little groggy, wearing the big cone, and you need to know, can you get him home in your vehicle? Will he be able to get in the vehicle? Will you need help getting him in the vehicle? And how far do you have to drive? So you really just want to plan those things ahead of time. And then, of course, you're going to be very restricted to this leash for 8 weeks. And during that time, he really isn't to run or jump, just to walk and to increase that time gradually. So the number 2 tip is follow your doctor's advice. And I really do believe that keeping him on this leash and restricting his movements was the key to his first surgery being so successful. So we're sticking hard to doing that now. The other thing to think about is the medication that they'll be taking. So they do have some painkillers. Painkillers last about a week for him, a week with the codeine. And then we're tapering off. He's finishing up some today. And then we've got another one that he has not taken at all that is as needed, which we might need from time to time after he finishes this other round. So just planning ahead and making sure you have whatever it's going to take to get that medication into your pet. The other place is really thinking about your environment in the house or wherever your pet spends the majority of its time. And how are you going to restrict his movement? How are you going to restrict his movement when you're there, and especially when you're not there? That's really been key, and it's one of the reasons I'm here with Ozzie. Ozzie's my grand dog, and I'm doing dog sitting duties while our son is at work. So again, having a plan. Now, of course, he'll be less needy as we go through the next several weeks. But again, restricting his movement is key to the overall success of this. And the other thing is, it is a stressful event for your pet. And I know that he had a little separation anxiety. And when he came home, he was still a little whiny, still some needy, wanting to stay close. Really not wanting to be alone for a while. Of course, he's doing better. He got his stitches out yesterday, his cone off, so he's feeling pretty good. Started our physical therapy today, which means walking for 5 minutes at a time, 3 times a day. Next week we'll be increasing that. And then that's the other thing to think about. We're lucky enough to live here in the country where we made a nice little path through the hayfield where we can walk with minimal distractions. We run into a bunny, we run into some deer sometimes, but we don't have a lot of distractions that's going to make him want to run or get excited if he sees another pet. And so that's nice for us. But I would encourage you to think about the same. When you're taking your dog out just for his potty breaks at first, the first 2 weeks, or when you're starting to really walk a little bit with them, going to an environment where there's as minimal distractions as possible, or one that's very familiar to the animal, so you know how he's going to react to that situation. Really just being patient. It's a process. And that cone, he's going to hate it. You might hate it more. Does he need it? Second time, I don't know. He didn't bother his leg with the stitches this time. Didn't even look back there. But the first time he did. And So you want to be safe. You want to be patient and work through the inconvenience of it all, because in the end, we're hoping that his second leg will be as successful as his first. But we know this time it really did take a lot of planning ahead. It took extra help. It took somebody sitting with him when we couldn't be there. And it really took sticking to the schedule of what he's supposed to have when he's supposed to have it. Just like you would with any other family member that goes through a major surgery. It's really pretty much the same, and they need all the love and care and support you can give them after that procedure. So I can tell you we've had a good experience with it, with the first leg. We're hoping that's the case for this leg. And we're looking forward to this dog being up and healthy and running and keeping up with all the other labs out in the field. So you can see he's feeling a little better. Oh, he's feeling better. And that's what we want. We want our eyes back. And so, oh, you're silly. You are silly. So I wish you a lot of luck in whatever decision you make. There's a lot of options: surgery, no surgery, TPLO, or something else. But just doing what's right for you and your pet is key to all of that. So thanks for watching. Good luck with your pet. Take care. Thank you.